Let's start with another question, which is Duff Company. Duff Company manufactures three products X, Y, and Z. Uses cost plus pricing. Each product uses the same materials and the same type of direct labor, but in different quantities. For many years, the company has been using full absorption costing and absorbing overheads on the basis of direct labor hours, budgeted production and sales volume for X, Y, and Z for the next year are 20,000, 16,000, and 22,000 units. Okay, so the budgeted direct cost of three products are X, Y, and Z, and the costs have been given like of direct material, direct labor, okay, batch size, number of batches, number of purchase orders per batch, total machine hours. In the next year, Duff Company also expects to incur indirect production cost of 1 million 1.37 million, and company has calculated overhead absorption rate to 9.7 per direct labor hour. The indirect production cost is 1,377,400 are analyzed as follows, and the cost pools have been given. The cost of each cost pool has been given and the cost drivers have been given. So what is the full production cost per unit of product Z using Duff Company's current method? What is the current method? The current method is calculating the overhead cost based on the traditional overhead absorption rate. Okay, so now it is asking us what is the full production cost. What do you mean by full production cost? In the full production cost of product Z, we'll have to add the direct material and direct labor as well, and then we will assess how many labor hours are actually being taken by product Z, and then the overheads based on which the overheads will be calculated. The production overheads will be calculated, which are absorbed as per the traditional absorption rate on the basis of the labor hours utilized. So let me just calculate. We have been given direct material 28 and direct labor direct material the direct material is 28, direct labor is 24. This will give you 28 plus 24, this is 52. 52 is your prime cost, and now you will add the production overheads. Now the production overheads are absorbed at the rate of 9.7. So 9.7, but how many labor hours? So I'll calculate over here. The cost, has it been given in the question? Let me check. No. So the per hour cost is given, that is 12. If the per hour cost is 12 and the total cost is 24, so the number of hours which has been utilized are 2. So this will be multiplied by 2 and it will be 9.7 into 2. 9.7 into 2, this is 19.4. Okay. So the answer is 71.4. What is the overhead cost? What is the overhead cost? Now please underline this thing because it is asking us what is the overhead cost per unit of product X based on the activity costing. So we do not need to calculate the prime cost the way we have calculated in product Z, because product Z was asking, in product Z it was asking the full production cost. Over here we need to calculate the overhead cost, only the overhead cost of product X. So there are different cost pools which have been given in the question, that is machine setup cost, material ordering cost, and machine running cost. So we'll calculate the cost for each cost pool, and then we will assess what is the cost per unit for the overheads. If I add 280 plus 316 plus 420 plus 400, it gives me 1,03,77,400 only. Okay, fine. So now based on each cost pool, I'll have to calculate the overhead, production overhead absorption rate. So first is machine setup cost, which was for 2,80,000. Machine setup cost was for 2,80,000. And the cost driver for it is number of batches. So over here the number of batches have not been given to us directly. What they have given, okay, they have given actually the number of batches are 40, 20 and 55. Okay, so we'll the OAR for this will be 280, 40 plus 20 plus 55, and it will give me this will be 280 divided by 40 plus 20 plus 55, that is 115, and the cost will be 280 divided by 115. This is 2435. Okay, now it is asking me per unit, but this is per batch, number of batch. So for machine cost for product X would be machine cost for product X is equal to 2435 multiplied by 40, which is 97391. 97391. Now after machine cost, it says that the next cost pool is material ordering cost. Material ordering cost, which is 3,16,000, and this needs to be absorbed on the basis of number of orders. So the number of orders would be, number of orders are, orders per batch is 4. So the total number of orders for each product will be 4 into 40 plus 5 into 20 plus 4 into 55. So the material order cost for product X is equal to 658.3 into 4 into 40, that is 160. So the cost is 10533.3.3. okay. After this, the cost driver is machine running cost. Machine running cost can be based on the total machine hours, which are 30, 20 and 30,800. So the machine okay, machine running cost is 4,20,000, which will be divided by 30,000 plus 20,000 plus 30,800. So it will be 4,20,000 divided by 30,000 plus 20,000 plus 30,800, that is 80,800. So the cost is 4,20,000 upon 80,800 is equal to 5.19, or you can say 5.20. Hence the machine running cost for product X is equal to 5.20 into 30,000 okay. And the general facility cost can be also calculated on the basis of this only. The general facility cost is how much? 3,61,400. So the absorption overhead rate would be 3,61,400 divided by 80,800, that is 4.47. And so general cost would be this much. So the total overhead cost is 134183 plus 155,940.5 plus 105,333.3 plus 97,391. Okay. So it is 492,848. okay. Now this is the total overhead, but in case of activity based costing, what will be the activity based costing? Okay, so in case of overhead, what is the overhead cost per unit for product X using activity based costing? Now I have calculated total overheads. Alright, so these are total overheads. Now if I need to calculate what are the overhead cost per unit, do we have units? Do we have units? No, we do not have any units over here. I've just read the question all over again, and we do not have any units. No, I am incorrect. Actually, they have given us units. The units are over here. That is what I was wondering. If they have not given us the unit, then how will I be able to calculate the per unit cost? So, the overhead cost per unit of X would be 492848 upon 20,000. This is 24.64. Yeah. So B is the correct answer. Then it is asking us, using activity based costing, total overheads allocated to the product X amounts to this much. What is the budgeted full cost of production per unit for product X? Product Z, based on the activity based costing. Okay, so if it is asking the activity based costing, the overhead cost, not the overhead cost. In fact, it is asking the total what is the, using the total overheads allocated to this, what is the budgeted. Okay, it is asking full cost production. Yeah, so it is asking full cost of production. So actually I got confused between the first question and the third question. It is asking us the full production cost based on the activity based costing, but I think this is only written to us for confusing, because it has already calculated the total overhead cost, which are calculated as per the activity based costing method. So now we need to just calculate the what have I done? Okay, I just need to calculate the per unit cost. So in the question, it had given me that the total cost is 576,583. Now I will divide this by 22,000. It will give me 26.2. So the direct material was 28, direct labor is 24, and overheads is 26.2. so this 24 plus 28, which is 78.2. okay, so the correct answer over here for this is also this, B, 78.21. For 2 also the correct answer was B. Now let's jump on to the fourth part. The fourth part is saying, which of the following statement about activity based costing in Duff company are correct? ABC can be applied to all overhead cost, not just the production overhead cost. ABC cost can be applied to all overhead costs, not just the production overhead cost. Okay, ABC provides a more accurate cost per unit of X, Y, and or Z, and as a result pricing should be improved. Yes, 2 is definitely there. ABC recognizes that overhead costs are not all related to production and sales volume of X, Y, and Z. Okay. ABC will be of limited benefits if Duff company's overheads are primarily volume based, or if the overheads represents a small proportion of the overall cost. I think fourth is also correct. Let me just read out first and third once again. So the first option was that ABC can be applied to all overheads, not just the production overheads. I think no, it cannot be applied to the prime cost. When I talk about prime cost, we have two kind of cost, that is direct labor head cost and the the direct labor and the direct material. So they cannot be done, and there are some fixed production overheads as well. So when you talk about all overheads, they can be fixed production, they can be fixed overheads as well, and this ABC costing does not applies to them. So in case of this, first is definitely not the answer. Second, I would say yes. For third, ABC recognizes that overhead costs are not all related to the production and sales volume of X, Y, and Z. So I think statement 3, uh, in case of statement 3, okay. So okay, after reading statement 3, I feel even the first part is also correct. The first part is also correct because it is saying not just the production overheads but to all overheads. Yes, so in case of production overheads, we do not need to see whether the overheads are fixed or variable. That is seen in the case of relevant cost only. But in case of ABC costing, we need to consider all overheads. Yes, and it provides more accurate, and ABC recognizes that overhead costs are not all related to production and sales. Yes. So the correct answer is D. And as you can see that I have already in this case, using activity based costing, the production cost of product X is very similar to the cost calculated using traditional absorption costing, but the cost for product X is almost 10 less. So the demand for the product X and Y are relatively elastic. So if the company decides to adopt ABC, the price of product X will change. So for product X, it will not change because it is saying in the question that they are very much similar. So this is incorrect. If the company decides to adopt ABC, sales volume of X are likely to remain unchanged. Yes, because the prices are sorry, it's not incorrect, it's correct, because the prices will not change as the production cost of X is similar by the traditional overhead costing as well as the overhead activity based costing methods. So if the company decides to adopt ABC, the price of product Y will go down. Yes, it has it has been given in the question. The cost of product Y is almost 10 less, so 3 is correct. A reducing selling price is unlikely to give rise to a increased sales volume. A reduced selling price is unlikely to give rise to the increased sales volume. Is unlikely. I think this is incorrect. A reduced selling price can increase the demand because it has been given that the product demand for both the product is relatively elastic. So this is incorrect. So only B is the option.